Okay, today is that dreaded four-letter word, fats. All right, people get really freaked out about fats and really trying to eliminate or severely reduce their fat intake. And fat is really good for the body. Without fats, we wouldn't be able to do this because we send electrical impulses from here, from our brain to our hand in order to do this. If we don't have enough fat, those impulses aren't going to get there. They're going to get herky-jerky movement. So we need fat. Fat is good for our nervous system. We need it. All right. So here's why. All right. We're getting into it's kind of the nitty-gritty for it. Why do we need fat? Because some of our vitamins and minerals that we take are actually broken down with fat. All right. So we're talking like vitamin A, E, D, K, all those guys, they need fat in order to be broken down. However, you also have to be careful on how much of those fat-soluble vitamins you take in because they do break down and get absorbed a little slower. So you can get to toxic levels a little bit quicker than like vitamin C, which is a water-soluble vitamin. So what is fat? Fat is a micro or a macronutrient. You do need a lot of it. Now, not nearly as much as you do with protein and carbohydrates, but if you're eating spot on, you're going to get a vast majority of your good quality fats through the foods that you're already eating, and you won't have to do excessive supplementation from it. All right? But a lot of people don't get enough of those good, heart-healthy fats, and we'll get into that here in a minute. So what is fat? It is stored energy for the most part when we take in excess amounts of it. For every 1 gram of fat, we get 9 calories from it. So that is typically why the body will hold on to it, because it is such a high energy source that if we're not getting enough protein and enough carbohydrates especially, the body will hold on to those fats, and it'll use protein as its energy source. We don't want to lose that muscle mass. Muscle mass is key to fat loss. So the more lean muscle that we have, the more body fat that the body will burn and so this is why we start seeing more girth measurement changes in clothing getting looser and stuff. Then we start seeing scale victories in the beginning. So fat converts back to glucose pretty quickly and easily. It's important for hair, nails, skin, and your immune system. So we got to have some more of it. Now, here's the thing too, is that here we have to understand what the difference is with fats. And there are some, unlike our carbohydrates, there are some good fats, but there are some really bad fats for you. So you need to know the difference between them. So the 3 fats that we really are focusing on here are saturated fats and our trans fats. Those are the 2 that we do want to limit. Trans fats you should eliminate. You shouldn't be taking in trans fats because they're just terrible for you. But our saturated fats, we'll get into a little bit more detail, we want to limit. But our unsaturated fats, those are our good heart-healthy fats, all right? So our bad fats are saturated. They're typically solid at room temperature. When you're eating a lot of them, they will increase your risk for heart disease. Mainly, they're going to increase your LDLs, which is our bad cholesterol. But they're found in meats, butter, dairy. But if you're eating smart and you're doing what I said before, the less legs, the better when it comes to our proteins, you're going to be on the good side. So a little bit of red meat is good for you, all right? You just don't want to be consuming large amounts of that, especially if you've got a family history of heart disease and stuff. You don't want to overdo it, all right? And you need to make sure that you get your blood work checked every year, just so you know where your baselines are. And then you go back and you can see how your nutrition side of things is going to be changing those for the better. All right. Our bad fats, our trans fats, they're very, 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 very bad for you. They drastically increase your risk for heart disease. They really elevate those LDLs, which is our bad cholesterol that we don't want to see getting up very high. Good cholesterol, overall cholesterol should be under 200. And these are typically found in our fried foods, cookies, donuts, fries, most packaged foods. They're not supposed to be in there, but they are. All right. So you need to be smart about what you're doing and the foods that you're and how you're making them. Also, when you're cooking with oils and stuff like that, you need to look at, go on the internet, and it'll tell you what temperature that the oil should be at and should not exceed, because if it exceeds a certain temperature, now you're changing the structure of it, and now it goes from a good to a bad. All right, because I've had some people ask me, oh, so if I deep fry fish in olive oil, that's going to be even better. No, that's not how it works. All right. So our good fats, our unsaturated fats, are typically liquid. They can be solid at room temperature. These guys will help lower your risk for heart disease. They increase your HDL, our good cholesterol. That's what we want. We want a high HDL, a lower LDL. A good high HDL is going to be in the 40s to 50s, which is really, really good, and can put you at a negative risk for heart disease. That's a good thing. So these are found in our different oils, our nuts, our fishes. With our good quality, our good fishes, there's going to be the omega-3s and omega-6s that we talk about. You hear people talking about avocados. You got to be careful about avocados, because if you eat the whole thing, you're getting as much fat as a Snickers bar, and that's not a good thing. All right. And then we have our essential fatty acids. So you can use supplementation. You can get omega-3, omega-6 fish oil pills and stuff like that you can use. Now, a lot of people, when we talk about fish oil, they talk about, oh, I get this, fish burp and stuff. If you put it in the freezer and take it before bedtime, it virtually eliminates that reflux of it. Okay. Oils, good versus bad, are high. These oils that are high in saturated fat are coconut oil and palm oil. And then our low saturated fats are the olive, fish, canola, flax, and sunflower oil. All right. So those are the ones that you want to use more of the saturated fats. Okay. Or that are low in saturated fat. Sorry. All right. So our 4 guidelines here is 1, how often to consume. And it is going to be throughout the day. Limit those fats at night. All right. Because again, you don't have enough time to burn them off. Number 2, how much to consume, around 30% at the high end. A lot of people I will tell to, start at 20%. So do 40% carbs, 40% proteins, 20% fats, all right? And that's going to give you a better ballpark to start at, all right? So we're shooting for about 40 to 70 grams per day. 5 to 10 of those should be about from your essential fatty acids. So if you have to take a fish oil pill, it should be, you'll take like 2 to 4 caplets of that per day. So what foods? Fish, nuts, seeds, flax seeds. It's got to be the milled flax seed. It shouldn't be the whole seeds and stuff like that. And then our good oils. All right. So how are we cooking our some of our foods and stuff like that? Some supplementation, our omega-3 pills or fish oil, anything like that. Okay. So be smart. It's okay to have some fat, but also make sure that you're getting your blood work done so you know what your good and bad cholesterol is and how eating healthier fats are going to help affect that. All right. Until next time.